Hello, nice to see you again.
Yes, we're pleased to be here.
今天是第54课第一讲，在这一讲里边，我们要学习第54课课文 The Cop and the Anthem 警察和圣歌。
The Cop and the Anthem. Winter was coming, and Soapy, one of the many thousands of New York pickpockets, felt uneasy. He knew that the time had come for him to look for shelter. Soapy's desires were not great. 3 months in prison was what he wanted. There he was sure of a little food and a bed, safe from the winter wind and the cold. For years prison had been his shelter during the winter. Now the time had come again. Having decided to go to prison, Soapy at once set about fulfilling his desire. There were many ways of doing this. The pleasantest way to get a good meal at some expensive restaurant, and then, after saying that he could not pay, be quietly arrested by a policeman and sent to prison by the judge. Soapy walked along Broadway looking at the expensive goods in the fashionable shops. He stopped at the window of a brightly lit cafe. Soapy was freshly shaven, and his coat and tie were decent, but his boots and trousers were shabby. If I can reach a table in the restaurant unsuspected, he thought, everything will be all right. The upper part of me that will show above the table will cause no suspicion in the waiter's mind. A roast duck, a bottle of wine, a cup of coffee and a cigar will make me happy on the journey to my winter quarters. But just as Soapy entered the restaurant, the head waiter's eye fell on his shabby trousers and boots. Strong hands turned him round and pushed him onto the sidewalk. Soapy turned off Broadway. He had to think of another way of getting into prison. At a corner of 6th Avenue, he saw a brightly lit shop window. Soapy picked up a cobblestone and dashed it through the glass. People came running round the corner, a policeman at their head. Soapy stood still with his hands in his pockets and smiled at the sight of brass buttons. "Where is the man who did that?" shouted the policeman. "Don't you think I did it?" said Soapy in a friendly way. The policeman did not understand Soapy's hint. Men who break windows do not usually remain to speak to a policeman. They run away. Just then the policeman saw a man hurrying to catch a bus. Club in hand, he rushed after that man. Soapy had failed again. On the opposite side of the street was a small, cheap restaurant. Soapy entered it, sat down at a table and ate a beefsteak and an enormous apple pie. "Now call a cop. I cannot pay. I have no money," said Soapy, "and don't keep a gentleman waiting." "No cop for you," said the waiter, and seizing Soapy by the collar, he threw him out of the restaurant. Soapy picked himself up and beat the dust from his clothes. Arrest seemed but a rosy dream. Prison seemed very far away. A policeman who stood before a drugstore 2 doors away laughed and walked down the street. He was just passing a cigar store when he saw a well-dressed man go in, leaving his silk umbrella at the entrance. Soapy stepped in, took the umbrella, and slowly continued his way. The man saw him, he turned and followed hastily. "My umbrella," he said sternly. "Oh, is it?" said Soapy. "Well, why don't you call a policeman? I took it. Your umbrella. Why don't you call a cop? There is one standing at the corner." The owner of the umbrella slowed his step. Soapy did the same. The policeman looked at the two curiously. "Of course," said the umbrella man, "that is, well, you know how these mistakes occur. If it's your umbrella, I hope you'll excuse me. I picked it up this morning in a restaurant. If you recognise it as yours, why, I hope you'll—" The man retreated. Soapy walked on, muttering insults against policemen who would not arrest him. At last he reached a street where there were little traffic and few pedestrians. At a quiet corner he suddenly stopped. There was an old church in front of him. Through the windows a soft light shone, and sweet music of the Sabbath anthem made him approach the iron fence. The moon was above, cold and beautiful, and the music reminded Soapy of those days when his life contained such things as mothers and roses and clean thoughts and collars. Soapy listened to the music, looked at the moon and murmured to himself, "There is time yet. I will reform. I will become an honest man. I will get out of the mire. I will—" Soapy felt a hand laid on his arm. He looked quickly round into the broad face of a policeman. "What are you doing here?" asked the policeman. "Nothing," said Soapy. "Then come along," said the policeman. "Thinking of robbing the church, eh?" 3 months imprisonment, said the judge in the police court the next morning.
好，下面我们通过回答课文的有关问题，看看 Soapy 到底是怎么实现他的愿望的呢？ Question 1. Why was Soapy so eager to go to prison? Why was Soapy so eager to go to prison?
There he was certain to get food and a bed, safe from the winter wind and the cold.
Question 2. Did he regard the prison as his winter shelter? Did he regard the prison as his winter shelter?
Yes, he did.
Question 3. What did he think was the pleasantest way to get himself arrested? What did he think was the pleasantest way to get himself arrested?
The pleasantest way was to get a free meal at some expensive restaurant and get himself arrested.
Question 4. What fine food did he dream of ordering for his own send-off to prison? What fine food did he dream of ordering for his own send-off to prison?
He dreamed of ordering a roast duck, a bottle of wine, a cup of coffee, and a cigar.
Question 5. Why did the head waiter turn the soapy out onto the sidewalk the moment he entered a restaurant? Why did the head waiter turn the soapy out onto the sidewalk the moment he entered a restaurant?
Because he caught sight of Soapy's shabby trousers and boots.
Question 6. Did Soapy get himself arrested after eating a free meal of a beefsteak and apple pie at a small cheap restaurant? Did Soapy get himself arrested after eating a free meal of a beefsteak and apple pie at a small cheap restaurant?
No, he didn't.
Question 7. What happened to him then? What happened to him then?
The waiter gave him a good beating and threw him out of the restaurant.
Question 8. Why did the well-dressed man apologize to Soapy when Soapy took his silk umbrella? Why did the well-dressed man apologize to Soapy when Soapy took his silk umbrella?
Because he had picked up the umbrella that morning in a restaurant and thought Soapy was its owner.
好，回答问题就做到这儿。接着我们再来看一下课文中的一些语言难点。我们先来看一下课文的题目。
The Cop and the Anthem.
警察与圣歌 ，cop， 警察，相当于 policeman， 但是 cop 是俚语，也就是说是一种通俗的口语表达法。俚语一直被认为是不登大雅之堂的市井杂语，或者是污言秽语，但如今它却很有活力。它不但经常出现在口语体中，甚至还常常出现在英美报刊杂志上。下面我们来看几个例句。
I had to bag it. I had to give up all that stuff.
我只好洗手不干，什么都得放弃。Bag it 是学生用语，它也是一种俚语，意思是洗手不干。
They are bag ladies. The big apples discarded. Homeless women.
她们是流浪妇女，纽约是无人收容、无家可归的女人。Bag lady 指的是捡破烂的女人，或者说是在公共场所的流浪妇女或老年人，因为他们什么食物都装在手提袋里，所以人们称他们是 bag lady。Big Apple 指纽约市，这 Apple 第一个字母大写，指的是城市。这是爵士乐手创造出来的俚语。好，接着我们再来看一下课文第一段的一句话。
Soapy, one of the many thousands of New York pickpockets, felt uneasy.
这句话的中文意思是，纽约街头成千上万个扒手之一的苏比感到不安。Pickpocket 意思是扒手、小偷，这是一个复合名词。有时它还可以用连字符号 pick、pocket。pick 是撬开、扒窃的意思， pocket 是口袋的意思，两个字合在一起就是扒手。英语中有许多类似这样的复合名词，下面我们通过例句来进一步了解一下这些复合名词的用法。
The brain drain from developing to developed countries is an international phenomenon.
人才从发展中国家外流到发达国家是一个国际现象。Brain drain 这是一个复合名词，意思是人才外流。注意，这两个字要分开写。
People now often get advertising throwaways.
现在人们经常会得到一些免费散发的广告传单。Throwaways 是一个复合名词，意思是免费散发的广告传单。请注意，这个复合名词要连写，中间不用连字符号。好，最后我们再分别来看一下第5段和第8段中的一句话。
People came running round the corner, a policeman at their head.
人们从拐角处跑来，一名警察跑在他们前头。
Club in hand, he rushed after that man.
他提着警棍向那人追去。第一句中的 a policeman at their head 和第二句中的 club in hand 都属于名词独立阻隔结构，表示伴随动作或者结果。相似的例句有
He stood there, his hands in his pockets. He stood there, his hands in his pockets.
他站在那儿，两手插在口袋里。这句里边的 his hands in his pocket 就是一个名词独立阻隔结构，表示伴随动作。
pair of glasses on her nose, Granny was reading the newspaper.
奶奶架着一副眼镜，正在读报。A pair of glasses on her nose 也是一个名词独立阻隔结构，表示伴随动作。以上的这种名词独立阻隔结构是一种比较正式的语体，常常在书面语中使用，很少在口语中用。好，这一讲就学到这儿。That's the end of this lesson. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.